Hello. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Hello, hello. Hello. How is everyone doing on this Wednesday? Hello. All right, I am going to get started. Family, I know that, the buzz phrase is floating around social media. Be okay with not getting the invite, right? And as true as that is, not all invitations are rooted in love. And we know that when we read 1 Samuel chapter 18, 21 through 30. And David receives an invite that he's not sure about. He's not even, it kind of comes out the blue. The invite was for him to become the son-in-law to Saul. And so Saul first gives his first daughter. That doesn't happen. That daughter gets married to someone else. But then Saul finds out that his second daughter, Michal, has fallen in love with David. So he's like, perfect. I'm going to connect them. Now I know you're thinking like, well, what's the big deal, right? The invite, that's a beautiful thing. And so David is even like, well, wait a minute. I'm just a shepherd boy. Why on earth would you invite me to be at part of the king's family? I'm not this. I can't even afford the bride price. And so he's like, no, I can't. This doesn't make sense. So when Saul's men come and tell him this, Saul says to his men, no, tell him I really like him. I really want this. I really want this to happen. So he's like, well, okay, but I can't afford the bride price. And so Saul says, listen, the bride price would just be 100 foreskins of the Philistines. And so David's like, okay, because Saul goes on to talk about vengeance will be that you take down my enemy. So David's like, okay. So not only does David give him the 100, he actually gives him 200. So he exceeds the expectation or the request. But let me back up. Saul was hoping that David would be killed during the battle. So the invite wasn't an invitation in love. It was actually to his demise. So David is none the wiser. He goes off to battle. He comes back with the 200 foreskin. The two of them get married. And then Saul discovers, man, David really has the protection of God. And that ticked him off even more. And in in verse 29 of chapter 18, it says, Saul remains David's enemy until the day he dies. Saul hated him for the rest of his life. How crazy. So you hate me because of the favor of God, The invite wasn't because you loved me so. You wanted to destroy me. And so I want us to just think on 3 reflection questions. The first one, what invite in your life has come with hidden intentions? It might have been a marriage proposal. It might have been a promotion on a job. It might have been just the invite to somebody's dinner party. Because we've all heard of the girlfriend, the boyfriend, or whoever, the family member gets killed by a family member. So every invite is not an invitation in love. Number 2, how do you begin to discern between genuine fellowship and a disguised trap? Because David didn't realize this was a disguised trap. Number 3, how can you be secure enough in God's favor to endure the jealousy or the hardness or hatred that's going to come upon you because you got God's favor? I never even thought about that until when I was reading this, I was like, man, that means, Lord, I got to start praying that you equip me and you pouring into me for people that's going to hate on me because of how you blessing me. That didn't even equate, but so now here's some affirmations I want you to speak over yourself. I walk in divine favor that can't be denied. Number 2, every trap set against me will turn into a testimony. Number 3, I will not be distracted by the crowd. I will stay focused on God's purpose for me. And the next one, I am protected, covered, and equipped to handle every invitation God allows me into my life. So I want to say this declaration over you. I declare this week that you will walk in wisdom, discernment, and peace. Every invitation will be filtered through the Spirit of God. And what was meant to harm you will only push you higher. No weapon formed against you shall prevail. And as Job teaches us, nothing, and I mean nothing, can happen to you that God doesn't allow. But you must be wise, because even though the weapon will not prevail, doesn't mean the weapon doesn't have your name written on it. That's just a little something from my heart to your ears. I hope this has blessed you in some way, shape, or form. And I just want you to be careful about the invite. But before I go, I want you to start asking this question when you get the invite. Don't always be so concerned who else is at the table. Be questioning why you got the invite in the first place. That's it, y'all. All right. Y'all already know I'm Monique, and I love, love, love you. And I will see you all next Wednesday if the Lord say the same. And the creek don't rise. All right.